in my mic. It's driving me fucking crazy. Do you hear it? I guess you won't hear it because you don't have headphones on. Bam, we're live. Rory. Fior Fitness. Fior, say it for me.
Well, we're not Italian, so it's a more harsh sounding word. It's pronounced fear.
Fear.
Fitness.
Fear Fitness. Fear Fitness. Fear Fitness. And why not just write Fear Fitness? Why does it have to be spelled F-I-O-R?
It's I guess play on the sound of words, but it's an Irish word that means true. So it's
Okay.
true fitness. But
Oh, awesome. Okay, I love it. Is that what you are? You're from Ireland?
yeah.
And you opened a gym in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I've run down this path before, and this morning I was practicing it in the shower again, and I don't think I got a good run on it, but it truly is a blessing. Any community that gets a CrossFit gym in it is so fucking lucky. Just imagine someone walks into a 7-Eleven and then they walk out, and 99.9% of the time, whatever they did in there is not good for the community, right? So they got a Slurpee, and now there's chances are they're going to throw the Slurpee on the ground. They're going to be one day closer to going to the hospital. They're going to consume more resources around them. They're less likely, they're probably indulging. They're less likely to have their awareness and wits about them to help other human beings. These aren't small things, and yet you get a CrossFit gym in your neighborhood, and every person who goes in there is coming out and is probably going to do something that benefits society. Well, they've already done one thing to benefit society, but they're probably going to do something to benefit society that they're not going to do if they walked into any other place. And, call us a cult for that or not, it's crazy. And so then I think of that juxtaposed with you, Rory, opening Fear Fitness in San Francisco. And this is a city that has the complete opposite of those values. I know I'm speaking a little bit in hyperbole, but you can see by what's just manifested everywhere around them. People are not taking personal responsibility and personal accountability in that city. It's abysmal. And yet that's what you're selling in that city. It's wild.
Yeah. I mean, from a leadership perspective, they aren't taking responsibility, I would say, but there's still people within the city that are, and that's what we're trying to get to, is that, like, for any place like this to change, the people within it have to, like, kind of lead the charge. Not that they have that much control, but what is the alternative? Just stop and do nothing and let
the best thing you can do is be an example. And all you're doing, all your business is every day bringing people in and putting them out as example, bringing them in, putting them out as example. It's the only thing you can do. It's the only thing. And you already know you've made a change. I mean, right? I mean, you already know you made a change. It's crazy. I really do believe that CrossFit affiliates are really the only hope that places like Portland, San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles, it's the only hope that they have. It's not more 7-Elevens. It's not more schools for kids. It's not more, I mean, it's nuts.
It's probably not just your, like, Orange Theory bootcamp type classes either. It's got to be this kind of togetherness, group atmosphere, working hard with each other, for each other, like creating connections through going through hard things together, and then going out into the world, and then that being somewhat infectious to the people that, so, like, let's say you have a class and you have 20 people, then they go off and they affect another 5 people. That's kind of how you're at least trying to spread some kind of positive change in the places that each member that we have, as small as our gym might be, they come into contact with multiple people through their day. And so if doing a class with us kind of brings them up to this level of accountability, personal responsibility, and then they, even if it rubs off on one other person that they come into contact during the day, well, then that's how we create, like, a better community outside of our gym. It's not hard. It's not easy in a city like this. I came from a very rural town in Ireland, and it was very community based, and that's why CrossFit struck such a chord with me. Was like, I'm now living in a different country, but I find the same community connection through doing CrossFit training for a long time. And so it's like, now I want to bring that to other people and create that same positive community. But when you go off into a big city, then it's like people go outside the door and they somewhat are just into their own world again, and they're not interacting with each other as they would in a smaller place. But
you come from a town where if you're walking down the street, you nod to someone or you say hi, or
doesn't even have a street. That's
right, okay. And now you live in a town where you walk by someone and you clutch your shit. You clutch your purse.
Yeah. You're guarded most of the day instead of being kind of open and welcoming to people.
You live in a town, if you see someone passed out, you would run over to them and help them right away. Now you live in a town where you step over them.
Yeah, I mean, that's
totally
something
different mindset. It's almost like
it's
almost
probably
like
one of the,
and now you live with animals. And by the way, I don't mean just the people who are passed out on the ground. Those of us who step over them, we're also hurting ourselves because we're reducing our own connection to humanity.
Yeah. It's kind of wild, like coming over here, how quickly you get just numb to things and stuff that you see that when I first moved here was completely crazy, and it like would make you stop and look. Now you just walk by and it doesn't cause you a second thought.
There it is, on some of the most pristine real estate on planet Earth, sitting there right on the tip of the North American West Coast, the amazing city of San Francisco, the entire Bay Area. They call it the Bay Area because it surrounds that body of water, that inlet of water there. At the top is where Rory lives, and down at the bottom is where I live. And then across the way, across from Rory on the other side of the water, kind of like where it says like maybe Hayward area, is closer to maybe where Craig Howard and Sousa live. Now, if you ask them, they would say they don't live there, but just to give you kind of an idea. So we all live around this inlet body of water that's called the Bay Area. The weather here is almost always perfect. Maybe not. Rory lives in a bit of a fog belt, but he can get out of it within minutes if he wants to at any time. And yeah, this is an incredible place to live. How old are you, Rory?
34.
And are you? I found CrossFit at 34. Crazy. How long have you been doing it?
20. I became aware of it back in 2011. Okay. I played sport, a sport called Gaelic football. Growing up from a child, I still play it, but just kind of off season was looking for some strength and conditioning type program to do to help lend itself to the sport that we play. And I found that there was kind of two extremes where you would have one section of the team who would just run all the time, like that. They would just do conditioning. So it would be a lot of like long runs building up over the winter period. And then they would come into the football season. And I went through this period, and you didn't really feel very fresh for a football season in a sport that requires like stop, start, multiple change direction. Like, think of the sport itself is like, the most vague term would be a mix between soccer and rugby. Now there's a lot of nuances to it, but it's a lot of athleticism, running, physical contact.
You carry the ball in your hands, or is it down by your feet?
You carry it in your hands.
And it's shaped like a rugby or a football?
No, it's shaped like a soccer ball.
Okay, round. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a team at your gym, right? Like you have a team in San Francisco.
Yeah, there's a pretty big Irish community in San Francisco and in the Bay Area, but kind of centered around San Francisco. And we have an entire league here there's like 5 adult men's teams and 2 adult female teams. And then there's a whole youth system as well.
How many people in your gym sound like you, have your accent? How many members?
Probably some classes you could come in and everyone, but
probably that's cool.
Yeah, probably 40 to 50% of my members, I would say.
Oh, that's awesome. So 13 years, And how, are you married?
Yeah.
And do you have kids?
No, not yet.
Oh, make sure we talk about that. If what you're going to do with your kids in San Francisco, you gotta homeschool them.
Yeah.
You gotta homeschool them. Holy shit! I just saw something. For people who don't know, San Francisco is one of the richest cities in the world. Also, most expensive to live in. The wealth there is insane. It's Bezos and Zuckerberg money, and the schools there are, holy shit. I don't want to get too much into it, but I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to talk about on the live call-in show. The scores there are so sad. I'm guessing most kids go to private school there, that they do not use the public school system, right? Like no, Zuckerberg's kids don't go to public school in San Francisco.
No, pretty few. I think that I know we can probably touch on the kids' position a little bit later, but
do you have a kids class?
Not yet, but we will.
Yeah. How old's your gym?
6 months.
Yeah, awesome. Congrats, dude. Were you going to say something about the kids? Sorry.
I was just going to say that a lot of it, I obviously hang around with a large Irish community, and it becomes a pretty pivotal decision in a lot of our Irish friends out here's future of being here, is that when they get kids, it almost sets a clock where they have to make a decision. Are we going to move back to Ireland and educate our kids back there?
Right.
Or are we going to be able to afford to put them into private schooling over here?
Right.
I do have some friends who they are in public schools. There's some that are good, but because it's a lottery system to an extent, you could be entering your child into this lottery for public schools, and God knows what school they could get into. We do have some friends that they just had kids and they're kind of facing that potential because private school is just out of the realm of financial possibilities. But
the good thing is if you can afford to homeschool there, the city has, and I say this realizing that every city has this, but the city has the greatest violin player in the world. They have the greatest physicist in the world. They have the greatest jiu-jitsu studio in the world. Like, the offerings in this place, and the intellectual and physical and just there's amazing people in the city. And so if
I think that's
get into those programs, there's tons of options, but there's tons of pitfalls too, right?
So from the outside, like, obviously San Francisco looks like a sham at the minute, but it's not going to go like San Francisco, because of the wealth, because of the people that are here. It's not going to go away completely. So that's when, as crazy as it might seem for me to open a business in this city, very competitive. Yes, large businesses are leaving, but there's still a lot of people living here. They need services like this. So I didn't see it as risky a decision. Like a large franchise or large businesses, yes, they see the downfall of it because their overheads are enormous. I'm running a much smaller, tighter business than they would be. So I think I can do it. And I didn't go into opening this gym in the city kind of without putting a lot of thought into it. I spent a long time deliberating opening the business. I was coaching for a number of years. I've been doing CrossFit since I discovered it in 2011, started doing it whenever I moved to San Francisco in 2013. Basically, back in Ireland, the only reason I didn't do it because there was probably only about 4 gyms in Ireland, and the closest one was in Belfast, which is about an hour from where I live. So it wasn't feasible to do CrossFit when I lived at home. That's just when I found out about it. I tried doing it in some, like, just our local community gym, and it just doesn't work in that setting. When I came here, I was very keen to then find a gym, start doing the training.
What gym did you join in San Francisco?
I was actually working on a project in the East Bay. So I had a job in San Leandro, and I joined a gym in Oakland down by London Square.
Okay. What was the name of the gym?
It was called just CrossFit East Bay.
Okay.
But it's no longer. It was right. You know where Jack London Square is? Like it was right there on the little walkway where all the fancy restaurants are. There was just a CrossFit gym in the middle of that, and that's it now. Grassroots.
Wonder who owns that.
They moved. Yeah, they've closed now.
Oh shit, they closed too.
Yeah, but they've been closed for quite a while, probably.
Oh, that's the same as CrossFit East Bay.
Yeah.
Damn. So you came to the States and you joined that gym and you started doing it and you fell in love with it?
Yeah, like just kind of instantly knew that it was the type of training I wanted to do. It was, like I said before, I was looking for something that would lend itself to our sport. And you had the two extremes of either just doing running and conditioning, or guys just doing strength, like just bodybuilding type workouts. And they didn't fully help you for the sport because you needed to be fast and conditioned and strong. And so when I started doing this type of training, I was like, this is literally the perfect type of training for our sport as an off season. There's obviously like a lot of skills to the sport, but the base level of fitness that doing CrossFit give was very noticeable once I started doing it, like how I felt that I developed within the sport. And then so I continued training CrossFit for over the next few years. I moved from a project in the East Bay, finished. I was down in a project in San Jose, and I kind of just bounced around some boxes there, didn't fully join one. And then I moved back up into a project in San Francisco, and then that's when I joined a CrossFit gym called Telegraph CrossFit. And they would still be the closest gym to me. They're about 3 blocks from where my house is right now. And we started training there, both myself and my wife. And we were members for probably 4 or 5 years. And then I started doing nutrition coaching out of the gym. My wife became a coach. She started coaching within the gym. And then we continued coaching through 2020. Once the gym locked down, we basically opened our garage and we're coaching out of our garage, like 5 or 6 of our friends every evening. And we continued all the way through that. And then,
is your home in the city?
Yeah.
And why did you come to the United States?
Whenever I went through college, I done like a construction management type degree back at home in Ireland. And at the time entering college, it was a kind of no-brainer to get into construction because Ireland itself was booming. But then that was 2007 when I started college, and it went through a massive recession then while I was in college, to the point where a lot of graduates were emigrating to Australia or they were going across to England to work, or you were having to move down to Dublin and work in Dublin. And I just didn't fancy either of those options. My wife, her aunt and uncle have lived in the city for probably 25 to 30 years. And Alana, she would have traveled here a lot when she was younger, spent like months at a time, because she was actually born in the US, so she had a passport, and then she kind of spent months at a time when she was younger. So then whenever I finished college, she was still in college. We came and spent 3 months here on a vacation.
Yeah.
And I played for one of those teams for a summer, met a bunch of friends, had some family connections out here, went back to Ireland, worked for a year, and stayed in constant contact with the people that I met out here. And they basically were like, you have to come out here again. You'll love it. So
how long have you been married?
10 years. But
wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude. That's an impressive feat at your age.
Yeah, we've actually been together for 17 years tomorrow.
Yeah. Good on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow, good on you.
Yeah.
Wow, good on you.
Yeah, it's funny. My brother, me and my both brothers, we both have been going out and are married to the same people that we started dating in high school.
Yeah.
We all went to the same high school, like both us and our wives, and
Yeah.
we all at the exact same age, at like 17, started going out with our now wives, and we're all still together. And
Yeah, that's wild. Congratulations. Relationships can be, I mean, it always blows me away when people are like, yeah, I got divorced after being with someone for 24 years. I feel like once you make it over like a certain hump and you figure out how to make each other happy, it's like gold.
yeah,
It's like,
what's funny is yesterday I saw your video in that Oakland courthouse, and
oh yeah,
when I got married, I was on a visa, and then the visa process was difficult. My wife, or my fiance, I was already engaged to Alana, so then we got married.
yeah. We don't like immigrants in this country. I can't believe you made it in here.
But we got married at that Oakland courthouse as well. It was fun.
You know shit. So you go in the lobby. Wow, that's crazy. That's nuts. And you had to stand there too, and the lady did the
Yep.
Are you fucking, me and you got married at the same church?
Same place. It was, and you mentioned that yours was a Chinese lady that could barely speak. Mine was not. She was an old black lady, and again, you could not understand anything she was saying.
Dude. Hey, and was she nice?
The lady?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like she was treating it. I mean, we were getting married, I guess. Alana and I were already engaged. We'd always intend on getting married, and we did have a wedding that our families came to after. But the lady that was there, it was like, this is your legit wedding. Like, this is the best day of your life. Yeah.
That's what my lady. I thought we were just gonna go in there and sign papers. The next thing you know, we got this Chinese girl. English is her 17th language, and she's like doing it like a real marriage. Like she cares about us and shit. I'm like, whoa, this is so different than the person who works for the city who gives you tickets, like the parking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like,
I know, and like they're going through the whole like vows. I didn't expect. I thought it was just going to be like a transaction, just like sign this paper. Yeah. And then they're going through the vows, and it's like, oh, look at your wife and say these. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that was nuts. Did you just the two of you, or did someone's mom or dad come?
No, so Alana's aunt and her aunt and her cousin both came as our witnesses. Yeah. Her cousin was like 12 at the time, and he's all like, "Oh, I was your best man. I was your best man." So I guess Avi was your best man for the.
Yeah, totally. Crazy.
We had some friends who similarly went. I think it was in Oakland as well, and they didn't realize that you had to have witnesses. So they just had to go out onto the street and get two guys to come in and sit as witnesses for their wedding ceremony.
Hey, how weird is it that you're on today, your anniversary is tomorrow, and we got married in the same courthouse? That is weird.
The fact that you just brought it up yesterday was fun. I was like,
I didn't even know till someone in the comments said, because we've been together so long, that date is just like.
I know. And the fact that I actually remembered that we started going out that long ago. I was just looking at the date yesterday. I was like, why does this date seem familiar?
Right.
But then it's you're a couple, and you could celebrate so many dates. Oh, this is the date we started going out. This is the date we got engaged. This is the date we got married. So
my wife says to me yesterday, she goes, "Do you want to go to dinner tonight?" I'm like, no. I'm like, why do you say that? She's like, it's our anniversary. And I look at her and we started laughing.
Yeah. Alana said yesterday, because she did not remember until I said it. And then she's like, oh, now what are you doing for me? And I'm like, the
podcast. Goodwill Racing. I visit my mom in Half Moon Bay. I'll be sure to drop in when I visit next time, Rory. You got some cojones for opening an affiliate in San Francisco. Cojones are balls.
Yeah, familiar. Yeah.
You're not okay.
Yeah. But if you bring up the map again of San Francisco, I think what is shown and what you see the media of San Francisco. It, not to say that our area is not also got its fair share of homeless people and
But
stuff.
it's not the Tenderloin.
No, not at all. San Francisco, since I've moved here, San Francisco has been overrun with homeless people concentrated around the Tenderloin. You've grown up in the Bay Area. I'm sure you've seen it for years and years and years. What's happened now is just like expanded out from the Tenderloin. And so now a much wider area is Zombieland. So down around City Hall is complete shit show. Union Square, a complete nightmare. But
Union Square got taken over?
I mean, look how close Union Square is to the Tenderloin anyway. So it's always been pretty dodgy because Union Square is a massive tourist area.
Yeah.
And that you're literally 4 blocks away from where the Tenderloin is. And so for years, whenever visitors come over, you're trying to advise them to stay away from Union Square because it's so easy to just wander a few blocks off the path. I done it whenever we first moved over. Me and Alana were on a bus and I was like, oh, let's hop off here. And we had to walk straight through the Tenderloin and it was an eye-opening experience.
Yeah. When Nordstrom's went under there, for people in the Bay Area who know, I knew, like that was kind of that whole. So Market Street's toast.
It's been getting bad over the last 3 to 4 years. It's been really bad.
It's unreal.
Down that area now, it's just shuttered businesses.
But it goes on in my lifetime that could happen to San Francisco. I never thought in my lifetime that mall could close down like that.
Yeah, but do you go shopping or do you just go online and buy your stuff?
Yeah, you're right. I just go online. But when I lived there, I loved going to that area. When I lived there, I loved the Apple Store, the Union Square.
Yeah, I remember when we done the first trip here in 2011, or my first trip in 2011.
Yeah.
And we would go down to the Westfield and just hang out as like how to pass the day. We'll just go down to the Westfield.
Right.
And it just had this smell. And when I came back like a few years later, it like instantly reminded me. I was like, oh, I can remember what we done that day 2 years ago just by the kind of smell of this mall. But I would say I haven't been in the Westfield in probably 3 years.
How about Pacific Heights? Is it still just super nice?
Well, if you bring the map up again, the like northwest. If you were to draw an L on the city, the whole north and west side are way different to what downtown is.
It is okay.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Now, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, although I do think it's right, but I'm not asking you to agree with me. It's right. If they just took a big, huge truck, like a dump truck that was like 4 lanes wide. Have you ever seen like those giant dump trucks, like where you could park semis in them? And they just drove it around the city, and they had like 40 dudes walk behind it, and they just picked people up and threw them in the back of it. You could clean up the city probably in 48 hours and all the problems would be gone, right? It's just basically just drug addicts everywhere. That's what it is, right? It's just it's turned into a giant drug encampment.
Yeah, it's a complete just drug and mental health problem.
Scoop all those people up, put them in there, and then drive them to Vegas, and like the city would be better overnight.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know
but like that Marina district is still like super like nice restaurants, nice bars.
It is. Oh, cool. That's good to hear. Okay.
You're not gonna find any area that's completely free of homelessness, but it's like I recognize the homeless people in my area because it's the same 5 or 6 dudes that I see all the time.
Right.
They're kind of.
Have you seen this phenomenon? I'm intimately familiar with homeless, and like in like, that guy's on that drug, but I can't believe this new one that I've seen. You can tell right away that people aren't. Have you seen the Trank people? They're bent over. I've started seeing them at Santa Cruz. They're standing, but they're bent over. What a drug, right?
It's like they lose all motor ability. Like you see them
stand on their feet. They're like off their midline so far. You're like, damn, This needs to be in the L1 manual.
Yeah, you see them like contorted into positions that's like,
Yeah.
how did you even get
Right. Okay, so you've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trank. Yeah, that trank phenomenon is crazy.
Or they'll be walking down the street and they're just peeling their clothes off.
Yes.
Just like they must be just burning up and they're just like can't get it off quick enough.
Good find, Caleb. So you
that skin, I saw on one of the things he pulled up, that skin rotting. I see that a lot. Like most of the homeless that we see, they have such terrible sores and skin problems that it's like
you just see them lying on the street and they look like someone poured acid on them.
Yeah, like there's one guy who does kind of hang around our area. There's a Starbucks like one on the same block as my gym, and he has just a massive sore on his hand, and I'm like, that looks like the most painful thing ever.
Oh
yeah, just like that.
Who are your neighbors? Who's on either side of you in your
at my gym?
Yeah.
Right next door is a East-West bank.
Okay.
And then the other side is an opticians. So I was searching for quite a while to find a space. There's a lot of real estate available, like commercial real estate available, because so many businesses closed around 2020. But obviously not every commercial real estate is suitable for a CrossFit gym. So once you start filtering for some of the important things like who's beside you, no residences above open floor plan, it starts dwindling pretty quickly, the type of real estate that's available. And so this space here was a martial arts gym for years. They done like kids martial arts, and they closed in 2020. And I knew of it because I lived only 4 blocks away from it for a long time. But they never advertised it as being available. So I had to do some poking around to find out what the status of it was. And then once I got in touch with the landlords, they were super nice, and we were able to get things worked out pretty quickly. But because my classes are morning and evening, it suits pretty well with having a bank and an opticians either side, because they work that middle section of the day that we're not an inconvenience to them.
Where do your people run? They run on Geary?
They go right on Geary and go up 19th Avenue. That's like a pretty nice residential. You see there's like a kids playground there. So
there's a park.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice street, and we just do varying lengths up that street.
Do you guys ever train at the park?
We haven't. It's pretty bit. Our Saturday morning class is like our biggest and busiest class, but the park is also super busy at that time. Yeah, it's a pretty popular area. And during the summer when we first opened, there was a lot of like kids camps going on all the time. It's a good marketing tool for me as well, because I'm getting parents from that park that are becoming members. So
yeah, awesome.
Like I use running pretty often as almost like a marketing thing, where it's like get people outside, and so then people that are in the park see these people running back and forth all the time, like what is this? Or they see them run, if they're driving down Geary, you see them running up and down through Geary, or we're doing farmers carries up that street. So I try and use that to my advantage as much as possible on Saturdays to get people.
Rory, and I make the assumption that when affiliate owners come on here, they're just diehard CrossFitters. They're just in fucking love with it. They're in love with the workout. They're in love with their friends who do it. Are you in that boat? Like, did any part, do you see it as a business, or do you see it as a love, or where do you fall? How would you describe your relationship with it, with the brand CrossFit?
I guess the methodology. Yeah, very big proponent of it. Like, I'm conscious of saying like because of Hiller's video. Whenever I started doing CrossFit, instantly loved it to the point where I was doing it most days. And then when our next football season came around, it felt like football was almost an inconvenience, because I was either not able to do the CrossFit training, or I was like carrying injuries from football into training, and it just became frustrating, where I was like, I want to do this passion, but I also like playing this sport. So I took a year out of playing the sport just to train more often, because it just brought more enjoyment. I worked full time anyway, so I wanted that balance of work and then enjoying my workouts, getting to push. No major athletic kind of goals with it. I did like increase my fitness a lot, but not to where I ever felt like, oh, I'm going to go hard into competing on this. I value the training and the community aspect of it a lot more than the sport side of it. I love, and I'm very interested in the sport. I'm pretty much a dork when it comes to the sport, but it never sparked to me that I would want to go real hard towards competitive CrossFit. And I think that you saw CrossFit begin within the Bay Area, but now you're not really seeing that many athletes come out of the Bay Area because it's too expensive of a place to live, to just live and dedicate yourself to training. Like, you need to work here to survive, and it's an expensive place to live. So doing the training all along, Alana, she was loving it as well. She wanted to get her L1. I was also wanted to get my L1, but I kind of pushed her towards the L1 and myself towards nutrition, so that together we would kind of bring something to the gym that was a little bit different. And so we continued coaching and working out in that gym. Again, just really love CrossFit. But I think what you've done with this show is you've created a hub of where these CrossFit diehards or dorks or whatever you want to call them, they get to come and communicate to each other in the chat or like call into your show. It is very hard to find people, even in a CrossFit gym, that are actually as interested in CrossFit as the people that are on this show.
Right.
So it just was this passion that I continued doing the training, really enjoyed helping, coaching other people, from like being an athlete and helping others in the gym, doing the nutrition gig, and then just wanted to coach it more. So,
hey, just so you know, I wasn't even into CrossFit, the nuances of this, I really don't like this word, but the nuances of the community when I worked at CrossFit, because I was too busy working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like, I know way more about the games now than I did when I worked there. Like, what did I give a shit if there were 10% or 25%? Like, I had shit to film and stories to cover and like give a rat's ass about that stuff. So yeah, I agree. This is a weird group here. I want to go back to, so when did you go from realizing CrossFit was the greatest way to stay fit and the greatest group of people to hang around in order to achieve your goals, to holy shit, this is also the cure for the world's most vexing problem? Like, do you remember at some point, because as a young man and you find this thing, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get fast and strong and healthy. But then at some point you're like, oh shit, that dude was going to die if he didn't find CrossFit.
Yeah. I just wanted, like, I felt like I wanted other people to do it as well. And I was trying to be this kind of like fit person within my group of friends and encourage them to do it. And I find myself wanting other people to kind of join us in doing it, not being like overbearing on them, but just being like, oh, this is great. And then people do start to notice, they're like, oh, what have you been doing? Because like in the sports side of things, like you're pretty fit this season. What have you been doing? And then they piques their interest. But just from a health perspective, it was like the whole methodology, nutrition, and everything above that, it's like a no-brainer for me when it comes to like, how do you keep yourself as healthy and independent for as long as possible? This is definitely the way to do it. Fitness itself, there's like, someone could find the same thing in jiu-jitsu or something like that, and that's fine. I've honestly no problem with it. What I love about this is just the variety that it offers, that you are fit, fast, healthy. You're able to do things without it causing you a second thought. Our friends said, oh, do you want to go do Half Dome? And we just went the next weekend and done Half Dome. Yeah. The fact that for some other people, if you said, oh, do you want to go on this hike? And they have to be like, have this internal dialogue that's
11 miles or something.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
So just try to kind of, without being overbearing on people, just be a good example. And we started getting our friends to do it, and they kind of instantly enjoyed it and felt themselves getting stronger and healthier, and kind of spawned from there. I don't know if that answers your question.
Did your perspective change on it though? When I found it, I just thought of it as something like where you get, it's Josh Everett versus Greg Amundsen, who can do Grace the fastest. And it wasn't until I was like maybe 5 years of working there that I was like, holy shit, if that dude didn't find CrossFit, he'd be dead.
Yeah, I would say that.
Now I feel like we all know it. It's like, hey, everyone better be at least doing some part of CrossFit. Like, you don't have to do the movements. You better at least find the nutrition part. You better find something.
Yeah, and that's why I never went hard into competitiveness with it. If you catch me inside a workout, yes, I'm pushing pretty hard. But if I'm coaching a class, this is going to help you lift your kids, or this is going to help you in your life in so many ways. That's what I'm trying to do here. I honestly don't care how heavy you lift. I want you to move well, and I want you to leave here feeling more capable in your life. I almost spend more of my time trying to convince people that CrossFit is not just running yourself into a wall every day that you come in here, so that you're so sore that you cannot move throughout the rest of your life. There's times when that is a good thing, but it shouldn't be your everyday. And within San Francisco here, you get a lot of people in these high performing jobs, type A people, and they take that same mentality into their workout space, and then they can only just go hard, and they just want to be floored after every single workout. And it's like, that doesn't have to be you every single day you come in here.
What do you think about like the mindset of people in this is going to be broad and sweeping, and by no means agree with me if you want to push back, but I think of the mindsets of people in Australia and Canada and the UK, and they kind of want to be told what to do. I feel like more so than the United States, in the Nordic countries. And then you open this business like CrossFit, and it doesn't cost $500,000 to open it. It's fucking really, really cheap to open it. It's $3,000 or what is it? Is it 4,000 now?
3,000 when I paid it.
$3,000 to hang the name up. You do the 2-day course. It's crazy potent. There's no one you hear all the time. It's like, wow, I went to 4 years of kinesiology school and I learned more in 2 days at the CrossFit level 1. I can't even believe it. It's the only seminar that's fitness seminar, health seminar that's being taught in multiple countries. It's the only one that does hands-on and written. It's the only one that has just like fucking crazy library of videos, and just we all know how great it is. And then you pay the money and you open your gym and you can do whatever you want to do, And when I think of these other countries, I always think, oh, I wonder if they would rather be told what to do. Like that Canadian mindset, they would rather be like, hey, can you make all of our signs green? Our paper cups should look like this. Every gym should have to offer water. On that. Just the people of those countries.
If you look now at what the recent stir-up of talk of affiliation increasing, kind of brings up the topic of, oh, what's CrossFit doing for me?
Yeah,
to an extent, yes. I don't want to pay more, but it's like, who cares what CrossFit's doing for you? You have this business now that you can run the way that you want to because of how CrossFit is.
Right.
What CrossFit does outside of completely like destroying the brand, you've got certified through CrossFit. Take that methodology and now apply it to your people how you see fit. You don't need CrossFit to tell you what to do. That's not the way Greg set it up. Go run your business. So the things CrossFit do shouldn't affect you a lot. I think that I still want to stay affiliated because me and Alana, who are our two coaches right now, are both CrossFit trainers. What we're doing is CrossFit. For us, our gym name is Fior Fitness CrossFit. If something happened catastrophically with CrossFit, we're still Fior Fitness. That's what our members kind of know us as. Within the class, we are still talking about CrossFit, talking about the methodology, but
I don't think any, no matter what you want to say negative about the people who are running the ship right now, I don't think they've done anything to damage the brand. I don't think they've done anything. What I think has happened is they're just floating out at sea and they're susceptible to getting eaten by a shark. But I don't think they're doing anything to damage the brand. I think the games were absolutely fucking amazing. I think everyone still knows. You walk into your local coffee shop and you're wearing a CrossFit shirt, everyone knows you're the fittest dude in there.
Yeah.
And everyone knows it's hard. I think the brand value is still there. I just think that we were used to a leader who really stood by something, whether you agreed on it or not. And that was Greg, you know, like he had always like one finger, like ready to flip someone off. And we all kind of like got behind that. Yeah. And we don't have that now. And so I don't think the brand has been damaged. Do you think that? I mean, I still think everyone knows if you want to be the fittest you can possibly be, just go into an affiliate and they'll get you going.
Yeah.
No one's denying that anywhere in the world. No one's like, Jeffrey Adler's not the fittest dude in the world. Everyone knows it. No fucking Olympian wants a piece of him.
Yeah. Well, what some of the major drawbacks of what holds people off starting is because they think everyone that does it is so fit. So that tells you that the general perception is that people who do CrossFit are some of the fittest people that are out there. I'm almost spending more time dispelling people and saying the fitness levels of people in here are very wide.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the brand value. Well, how do you do that? Because we want to get people in the doors, right? But we don't want to lose the brand value either.
Yeah. It's again, you talk about a lot, but they need to take a deep look at what media content they're pumping out there.
Well, they need to pump out some media content, just anything. That's
I feel like last year when they had this magic of CrossFit, like that just died on its ass.
Right. It was just a blip.
Yeah.
I know. It needed like 3 or 4 years of continuous drum pounding. It's
and
hard.
Now it's just back to like some teenager running their Instagram, and I'm like, I can't repost any of this shit. CrossFit for me, I'm marketing my gym, but I am marketing the methodology of CrossFit.
Yeah.
And the level one, like I can just take the level one and just take small sections out of that. And there's a post, there's a post, there's a post. I almost think that the level one should be what all members get. And then another level for coaches, and then another level for advancement of coaches. But almost any member would benefit from just sitting through the level one.
Any human should take it.
Yeah. The level two, you were actually at my level one.
Where was that at?
It was
it at HQ?
Yeah. In 2020.
Dude, you know it's that's crazy. Did I speak with you? Did I interview you?
Not interviewed, but just a very brief exchange, just talking like during the lunch hour. We exchanged a few words, but not at any length talking.
So do you know that story, why I was there?
It was at the time where you were just basically going back to what you had started doing and video and content.
I was just running the media team, and then all of a sudden Rosa took over and there was just nothing to do. So I started just like, fuck it, I'm going to make more content than I'm going to just go back in time 10 years. So I went to 2 level ones back-to-back weekends at CrossFit HQ, and that footage is amazing, except so many people were wearing masks and it fucked up all the footage.
Yeah. I
looked like ding dongs. Even the instructors had masks on.
I know. It was, I looked back at the kind of photo from that time, or it popped up on my feed, and I'm like, what was this about? Yeah. The photo, the photo at the end where like the whole group photo, and it's just everyone spread out 5 feet apart. I'm like, what was
everyone should have just put a dildo in their ass instead.
Yeah, basically. I would be interested in the content, because there was one guy that I was paired with during the workout, and he was this like guy in his 40s, Italian bald head guy, and I'm pretty sure you interviewed him because I recall you talking to him outside. But I don't think he had ever even heard of CrossFit. So I was like, how have you ended up doing this level 1?
Was he a gay dude, big, like maybe 100 pounds overweight?
No, he was in good shape, bald guy.
He was from a that was the most fat people I've ever seen at an L1. I was actually really impressed. It was really amazing. There were some go-getters there. Do you remember that old lady there? She looked like she was gonna die.
No, I don't recall her.
She was a recovering alcoholic. She looked like she was 70, but she was like my age.
Oh, I think yes. There
Skinny.
was an older guy as well who just looked like an older, heavy businessman. I'm like, where did this guy?
Yeah.
Where's he come out of?
Great stories. Damn, dude, I got some great interviews. I made those videos for CrossFit, but they didn't want them. I ended up making them, and they didn't.
So that Italian guy, whenever I was paired with him for the workout, the like thruster burpee workout, it was not only did it seem like he had never heard of CrossFit and done the seminar. When it came to the working out part, he just like picked the bar up, done 3, and then just sat it down, and then was just standing sipping water. We're like, go, and he didn't understand that you had to do the workout as fast as possible.
I didn't know that either when I started CrossFit. It took me like 6 months to figure that out, that there was a timepiece. Hey, that's great. That's crazy that you were there. What a great location. What a great group of people. It sucked because those were my last 2 weeks of working at CrossFit, and I went to 2 level 1s, and it got me so hyped, and then I was fired. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that's
I was so bummed.
The good thing about living in the Bay Area is that you're so close to what would have been the epicenter or the hub of CrossFit. So when Alana done her when her L1 was on, it was at the ranch.
Yeah.
And it was like Katie Hogan was leading it. Dave was there just kind of floating around in the background. Yeah. And I was bringing her to and from it each day, and I was like creeping around the ranch. And then I went and dropped in at CrossFit Santa Cruz, and then was just like it just felt kind of surreal being there. Like I've went past the ranch multiple times anytime I'm going up and down towards Santa Cruz area.
Yep.
But then mine's was supposed to be in Milpitas at Austin Bijubing's gym, but it got moved to HQ. So it was like, again, surreal just being there. It's like, oh, this is CrossFit HQ. And then on Alana and I both done our L2 in San Jose, and it was like Hollis Malloy, Katie Hogan, Pat Barber. And again, it was like, I know who all these people are. It's kind of some big old names in CrossFit. Katie's the like West Coast representative. So I spoke to her then at our L2 and said, listen, we're hoping to open a gym in the future. Can we like ask you any questions? And she was helpful.
Hey, look at this. It looks like there's 2 people who were also at that level 1. Look at, I was the only one out of 50 people that drank a beer with the staff after the seminar. I wonder if he means that one. That's the only workout I've done with a mask on. God, I think I remember meeting you, Zach, where you must have been so young there. There was a young kid there too.
Yeah.
16-year-old boy.
Like a really young kid, yeah.
Yeah, was he there with his mom or something? No. God, I was so impressed by that kid. It was like he had taken the summer, instead of doing something that weekend with his I can't remember, but I was impressed with that kid.
Yeah, but
I was impressed. I'm always impressed with the people at the level 1. All the attendees, I'm like, damn, you guys are fucking badasses.
You're talking about the like us having to do that L1 masked. What baffles me is that if you go to CrossFit's website and look up some of the things about the L1, a lot of the videos that they put up are coaches coaching it with a mask on, like just standing at a whiteboard, and you can barely, their like voice is muffled. Like, just put up a different video than this.
Yeah, that's a shame. And the problem is this too. Oh, there's Greg Hammond. He's coming on the show. I seen one of these pictures. The problem is the main problem I have with the mask is what it signals other people, right? So people come into your gym and they get signaled by everyone around them. Okay, that's how you move, that's how you dress. Oh shit, notice how everyone has water bottles. I never see anyone drinking soda pop in here. Like you, and so people put on that mask and you're signaling everyone around you that something's wrong. And like that's not nothing. If you're doing CrossFit, probably nothing is wrong with you and nothing can hurt, and really nothing can hurt you.
No,
Sevan, that's not true. Yes, it is. Fuck off.
Yeah, back in like when the gyms closed down, our gym owner did like we were forced to shut the gym, but our gym owner at Telegraph CrossFit, they're now an 11-year affiliate. Before opening his gym, he coached at San Francisco CrossFit along with Kelly Paoli. Card was a member at our gym for a number of years, so deep connections within CrossFit. And so whenever the gym was closed down, he was like, F this, and he just blacked out the windows and just let people in. And we were running undercover for a while, and he basically said, if you're comfortable, I'm okay with it. So
that was at Telegraph CrossFit.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And so we ran it that way until he got a couple of slaps on the wrist. Then we would go to outdoor classes at a close park. Then we would go back to undercover, and we just had the windows blacked out for a long time.
It was weird. Kelly's gym closed, right? I remember hearing that, and I remember like that not feeling
which was
kind of surprised how bad how much it moved me when I heard his gym closed.
Yeah, I feel like there's a kind of multiple things that I think he had got super successful outside of San Francisco CrossFit, and they had their own that ready state method that him and his wife do. That is their probably main focus, and the gym was being ran by they had a lot of good coaches, but they had a large building inside the Presidio. I can only imagine what
that location was crazy, right?
Yeah, and then a bunch of their members, obviously, once it closed down, just stopped paying, and so then it closed. But his core group of coaches have reopened a new gym in the Presidio again.
No shit.
Yeah, it's called CrossFit 7x7.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, there's actually like within the last, I think they're maybe just over a year, but within the last year and a half, there's been 3 new CrossFit gyms in San Francisco.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Hey, that's a testament to the name also, that people from that era are still opening gyms and still affiliating. I mean, that's like if I work at headquarters, that's like a really, really, really good sign.
Yeah, you've got that one is in the Presidio, and that's kind of basically trying to pick up. They would have had a lot of the Marina Pack Heights. That would be their main kind of catchment area for their gym. Then,
which means just crazy wealthy people with really old money.
Yeah, and they have a really nice space. Their rates are probably intentionally high to keep a.
How much do you think the rates are there? You think it's $300 or $400 a month there? Think it's that high?
It's over 300.
Yeah.
Like when I was trying to set mine, I was trying to consider that it's still San Francisco, so it's got to be up and around the same rates as the other gyms, but we are more like suburban neighborhood of San Francisco, and it is where people on, let's say, lower San Francisco incomes or families who lived in the Marina and maybe now had a kid and realized they need to live in more of a like neighborhood where there's parks and it's more residential. So I was trying to consider that as well, that it's not the richest area of the city, but it's still San Francisco. So
are you living in San Francisco? Do you live there?
Yep.
Do you live close to your gym?
Yeah, like 20 blocks from it.
Do you walk to work?
I don't, because right now I'm still working my other job in the middle of the day. So I coach in the mornings, work my job, and then coach in the evenings.
Oh my goodness. Your wife Alana, same thing. She has 2 jobs. She's the gym and a day job.
Yeah, so she is working full time. I went down to, so I was working 40 hours a week, and I went down to 25 hours a week. So I worked 9 to 2:30 at my
Day job.
And then I do most of the coaching because she's doing full-time work to help support the loss of income that I got right away.
Yeah.
But she helps. She's there every evening, and she helps in the mornings. Like for today, we both went down, opened up, done the 5:45 class, and then I took off halfway through it, and she took the 5:45 and 6:45 classes.
When I wake up in the morning, I'm pretty excited. I wake up at 6. I usually wake up like I hear roosters and chickens around 4:45, and then I know. And then at 6 a.m., I hear my alarm go off, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty like, oh shit, this is cool. And I jump up and I, turn on the coffee maker, and I start getting really. I'm like, wow, in an hour I'm going to be live on the air. Is it like that for you? You're like, oh my God, I get to go to my gym.
Yeah. Like, because it obviously is an added stressor, but it was something that I wanted to do so much that I'm like, this is something I've been talking about for a long time. And Alana was very encouraging all the time. Was like, just you want to do it, let's open it. We're both coaches. We're both coaching for someone else. We love that gym. We love that community. Let's try and grow one of our own. So like, she was fully supportive. And people, when I tell them the hours that I get up and coach and then work and then coach and then do some like one-to-one sessions or intro sessions, and then I'm getting home at like 9 p.m. and then back up again at 4:30. People think that's nuts, but I'm 6 months in and I still get up and enjoy that morning every time. So like, you are getting to be a good part of people's otherwise what can feel like a mundane day.
Yeah.
At least when they come into us, like, they might come in sleepy in the mornings, but they leave feeling so kind of ready to go about their day that it's satisfactory every time. So
yeah. Do you like your gym when you walk in, or are you like, yeah, this is my gym?
Yeah. We dropped in at a lot of gyms over the years. We traveled quite a lot, tried to drop in anywhere that we would go. And it was kind of our chance to see what we liked and didn't like about other gyms, what sort of vibe we got from people, what their kind of style of coaching was, how they warmed you up, and just the general atmosphere around it. And we tried to just take the best bits that we enjoyed most. Most of the time it was about how the interactions with people were. We've dropped in to really nice gyms where people would not even acknowledge that you were there dropping in.
Oh.
And it was like, yeah, it was just like, well, that was shit. We've dropped into a gym in Thailand that was literally just someone's garage. I think we could barely even find it, or it was in Vietnam. Couldn't find it because it just happened that this like German woman saw that we were wearing CrossFit type clothes. Yeah. And she said, oh, I think you're looking for this gym over here. And we went in and it was like 4 people in the garage just training.
And were they nice to you? Were they like, hi?
Yeah. It was like, oh, we've got a drop in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the more welcome in the gym, then generally the better experience you leave from it. And what
do you want people to know? So if, let's say I just popped in your gym and I just opened the door, what would be the ideal, if you guys were running on all cylinders, what would be the ideal situation?
That you feel welcomed, that you feel like part of a group of people that you've never met before.
Can I see, if you were the coach, would you be like, hey, what's up? I'll be with you in a second.
I would likely go straight over to you. Yeah. Most of the time, if I see someone signs up for a drop-in, I'll text them right away and like let them know that I've saw that they're dropping in and communicate a little bit back and forth.
Yeah.
And then when they come in, I'm like, oh, I'm Rory that you were messaging.
Yeah.
And the goal is that they would walk away from it, that they'll want to repost things that you do, and that they'll want to come back to your gym. We just had a French couple who were traveling and dropped into multiple gyms in the city, and they came over after. He owns a gym in France, and he said, he's like, this was so fun. This was like an enjoyable class. So that's satisfactory as well. So
yeah. So the goal is every person who comes into your gym, this is what I just heard you say, you want them to want to talk. You hope that they have an experience that's worth for them to talk about.
Yeah.
They'll go to lunch and be like, dude, I went to this really fucking cool gym in the city. The people there were so nice. The workout was crazy. God, they warmed us up so good. My gym doesn't do that at home. Just shit like that.
Yeah. And do you have any Irish friends?
Just Pedro.
Like,
yeah.
We're generally a super friendly, like chill, enjoyable group of people to be around.
Sense of humor. I want Conor McGregor to be my friend, but he's not.
But if you talk to anyone who goes to Ireland, their comments are generally that the scenery is beautiful and that the people are really friendly and inviting. So that's the vibe that you get in our gym. We're not putting Irish flags or anything up around the saying, oh, this is the Irish gym. It's subtle that the name just has one word that's Irish. Most people don't even know that it's an Irish word. Then they come into the gym and you'll start hearing the different voices from around Ireland. And it's a lot of laughs and a lot of kind of friendly slagging during the class. So.
Rory, when will you know that Fior is successful? Is there a... when will you know it's successful? When will you be able to maybe take your foot off the gas or go into phase 2? Is there a phase 2?
Well, I feel like it's successful already.
Okay.
We're bringing something to a neighborhood that otherwise didn't have it. What baffled me was that the gym Telegraph that we were working at is about 1 mile away from where our gym is. And it is the only gym on the entire west side of the city, the only CrossFit gym. And they're 2 of the largest residential neighborhoods in the city. I'm like, this is where most people are living. Why do they not have this service? So already most of my members that have joined are people coming in and saying, oh, this neighborhood didn't have anything like this. And they come in and get started with it. Not everyone enjoys CrossFit. Sometimes it's too hard for them because the maybe not to say unspoken thing, but it is still a difficult method of training. You have to be willing to come in and actually get uncomfortable, and if you want to see progress, kind of work hard. And for some people, that's not what they want in their training. They're for them, probably wrongly, their training is just like a checkbox that they do each day. It's like, oh, I worked out. They didn't really work, but for them, that's what the gym is.
Right.
We're just trying to change that narrative for as many people as possible. But yeah, I feel like it's successful so far. We're growing. Membership is increasing at a rate that we find sustainable. It's not where we need it to be.
Huge.
It's not where we are at this level of extreme comfort, but because it's Alana and I managing this thing by ourselves with jobs, we couldn't have this like influx of 30 people, and then you're trying to integrate 30 people into your already community. For us, this rate of like adding around 5 members per month has been pretty natural.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's continually increased that way to date. I maybe projected that when we would first open, you would see this bump because it was newly opened, and then it would be an increase. There wasn't the big bump to start with that I expected, but it still increased the way that I was hoping it would. So
and you're okay with that?
Yeah, it's we are still growing. It's got to the point where it's paying for itself. Then a couple months ago, it got to the point membership wise that it's covering its own costs.
Congrats, dude. That's
now
great.
Now it has to start kind of increasing to where I had to take an income drop to make it happen. Now it has to come back and supplement some of that income.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes like a cost balance of at what point does the membership grow to the point where I can now step away from that? Salary stays lower a little bit, but I can grow the thing a bit more. And we're a little bit, when that happens is going to be slightly driven by my wife. Alana is also in the kind of final stages of going into the fire academy. So she's making somewhat of a career shift, or hoping to. And so that'll be a little unsettling for us again. So we'll kind of hold tight and then just continue to grow it from there. But,
hey, it's cool. We just brushed over this, but it's really cool that your wife supported you opening the gym.
Yeah.
Like having strong relationships like that, and especially when you don't have kids, that someone will allow you to pursue your dreams is awesome.
Yeah, I think it kind of falls under the having kids thing of why we're now doing these two kind of life changes, where we have a great group of friends here. They're all around our same age, and they were all in the early stages of starting families. They have like 1 to 2 kids.
Yeah.
And so we were on a similar trajectory. I was working as a construction manager. Like I have been doing that for 10 years. I could stay in that role for a long time. But the opening the gym was just this like constant itch in the background that I was like, this needs to be scratched before it's too late. And we felt that we would potentially have kids. Alana was working in her job that she's been doing for 10 years as well, just doesn't love it. It's not like a passion for her. Her aunt was a firefighter, or is still a firefighter in the city for like 20 plus years. And
wow.
So that's been her little itch in the background all the time. That was like,
yeah,
she's wanted to do it, but never wanted to take the leap because we know that it'll be like a step backwards. But I
hate to say this, but it's the current state of affairs. She'll get hired just because she's a girl.
Yeah, that's essentially.
They'll literally like they hire people based on their genitalia now. So
that yeah. I mean, that is not right, but she's going to take advantage of it if
she possible. Has the proper it's not her fault she has those genitalia.
Yeah, so she has wanted to, because her aunt was a firefighter for years, and she always kind of looked at her as this being such a cool job.
Yeah.
And was like very interested in it. When we first moved here, she wanted to get in, but at that time it was super competitive, super difficult to get in.
Yeah.
And so over the years, there's been times where she's kind of inquired, and her aunt was still like, it's not looking good. It's going to be super difficult. You don't have all of the relevant qualifications to get in. And then literally 18 months ago, her aunt was like, if you want to get in, you will get in. So
yeah. Dude, I've heard some crazy stories.
Yeah. So she went, her aunt said, oh, let's come to this boot camp and we'll get you to meet some of the like fire chiefs, and then take it from there. And so she goes to this boot camp on Treasure Island.
Oh, cool.
And it was an all female boot camp, purposely to try and like, they're making a push to get more females into the department.
Of course, who doesn't want a girl saving you from a burning building?
Yeah. And so then they were like, she goes to this boot camp.
Caleb's wife's a firefighter. And she has a vagina too.
So she goes to this boot camp and like blows everyone away. And it's like, what training have you been doing?
Oh, that's awesome.
And she's like, CrossFit? How are you all not doing CrossFit?
Yeah.
And so she then went down the path. She done her EMT certification, got through all of the steps. She's went through a lot of the interviews, and it's down to like final stages of like background checks and just medical stuff. But goal is that she will get into the academy in January. So
awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome.
But yeah, so I supported her. Like I support her because I want her long term to be doing something that she wants to do. It's the same way for the gym, she wants me to be doing something that I want to do. But it kind of spawned from like we're both 34, making this life change.
Yeah.
Our friends had all started having kids, and we thought we were on the same path, and we're like, let's try and have kids as well. And it just, after a year or so of trying, it was like, oh, this doesn't happen as easy as everyone thinks it'll happen. And then I went through some tests and found out that I can't have kids naturally. So then we were faced with this.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Like your sperm don't have tails or something?
It was a funny story. We'd been trying for a while, and we were like, all right,
so you just have sex without contraception.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Okay.
Remove the goalkeeper. So we're trying for quite a while, and it wasn't uncommon. Some of our friends who had got pregnant were like, yeah, we tried for a while before it actually happened.
Yeah.
And so we kind of just would just, again, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But then it went so long that it wasn't happening. We were like, something's not right here. So
I know there were some days you're like, dude, that one for sure got you pregnant. You just know. Like, so I would be like, oh shit. My wife would be like, what? Like, dude, I got the neighbor pregnant with that one.
Yeah. So then I went and got some tests done, basically have to go and give a sperm sample to run tests for like sperm count motility.
Yeah.
And the results came back and it's like no sperm. And I was
in there there were no guys, no swimmers in there.
Yeah. So I was like, they said, oh, there might be something wrong, like come do it again. So then came, done it again, zero. So I was like, all right, what's going on here? So they're like, oh, you're gonna have to go see this, I think it's a urologist. So I go to this urologist, and the hospital is like 3 blocks away from where our house is. Go in, and it's just like, drop your pants, get up on the table. And so they just start poking around. Yeah. And I'm on the table, and the person that's doing the exam, it was a guy doing the exam, and he's like, oh,
he's like fondling your nuts. He's like feeling your nuts and stuff, like doing the pinch thing. Yeah.
Yep. Pinch and roll or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's happening. He just stops and he's like, oh, I'm going to have to go and get another urologist here to help me with this. This is a little bit strange. So I've
seen this movie. I've watched this movie before. Please tell me Please tell me she had huge shit. Please tell me she had huge shit.
So it was another female urologist came in, and she was like, oh, do you mind if I bring in this student nurse as well? And I'm like,
yeah, this is awesome.
So I'm lying on the table with trousers around my ankles.
Yeah.
And there's 3 of them just fondling.
Yeah.
Fondling me. And they're like, oh yeah, this is super strange. Like, you've got what we call a bilateral absence of the vas deferens.
Oh.
So essentially, there is no tube that connects the
where the swimmers hang out to the so basically when you ejaculate, it pumps out all the different chemicals that go into the girl, right? And you're saying the one that pumps the actual swimmers in, it wasn't is a rare obstructive anomaly that contributes to male factor and the prevalence. But basically you have the swimmers, they just don't have a fucking tube that goes
they can't get there.
They can't get
so like when you get a vasectomy, that's what they basically disconnect.
Oh, that's a trip. Could they reconnect it? Could they like connect it?
There is nothing. There's nothing there. There's no the tube itself doesn't exist.
But Caleb, don't you have 2 of those tubes, one from each ball?
Yes.
So, but he doesn't have. You don't have either one.
What's up, Caleb?
Hey.
I wonder if that's affected you in terms of like your health. Like if you like, you have more. I wonder if you have higher T levels than an average man because you're just keeping all the swimmers in your whole life.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, if I were you, I would
the first step
get a
was
microscope, dude.
the first step
I would
was
check that shit myself. Go
the
ahead.
first step was to get blood tests and stuff, and they didn't see anything
right
that would kind of.
Yeah, look at you. You have perfect skin. You're healthy. I could tell by your skin you're healthy.
Yeah. So then, then just kind of got bounced around. You probably saw when it came up there that as rare as that is, it tends to come up in people with cystic fibrosis. So then they were like, oh, do you have cystic fibrosis, or does anyone in your family have cystic fibrosis? And what's funny is I know of cystic fibrosis because I think Ireland's one of the higher levels of it, but I didn't know of anyone in my family that had it. So I then had to go get more tests done to see if I had like genetically, if I had any kind of strain of cystic fibrosis. And they did say, oh, you are like a recessive carrier for cystic fibrosis. So you don't have it, but if you were to have a child with someone who is also a recessive for it, then there's a 25% chance that child would have cystic fibrosis. So I had to then go like they wanted
bad? Is cystic fibrosis bad? I'm seeing a disorder that causes problems with breathing and digestion.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah, like the body can't digest the mucus that's developed within your system. So then you just have a mucus problem where everything's built up within your lungs for.
They can have to use like
there's a correlation between
breathing apparatus or something.
There's a correlation between not having the tube for your swimmers and having cystic fibrosis. What a fucking
I guess.
I wonder who found that out. Okay.
But yeah, so then I guess finding that out was basically, okay, we're not going to be able to have kids naturally. So now it's going to have to be IVF. Here's all your options. They're very expensive. So now it becomes a very much financial decision of when we have children. So we kind of use that, finding that out as a second to pause and think, if we're going to commit this much to doing something like this, are we in the position ourselves in our lives, in the jobs we're doing, of wanting to go all in, have kids, and potentially be not of, let's say, scratch those itches of doing jobs that we would want to do for the next 20 to 30 years.
Right. So what do? They'll just take semen out of your scrotum and then just put it in her. That's basically it.
Well, it's funny. So like the healthcare system, it's just a big referral network. I would speak to someone who's like, oh, let's refer you to someone else. And they were just trying to milk my insurance, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But they were just sending me from person to person to person. And I was like, okay, I now know that I have this. Like, we'll make the decision. It's like, oh no, you need to go speak to this counselor because this could affect you mentally. And I'm like, I'm okay. We understand the issue.
Suck this cock and
yeah.
I need
God
damn, that makes me so angry that they said that. That makes me nauseous.
Oh, wait for this one. So then, I was like, it's okay. We know some of the next stages. Essentially, they don't want, the next stage would be to investigate if there is for sure sperm in the testicle because they don't know. So there's methods of doing that is to either put a needle in and try and extract, or to cut it open and try and extract. They don't want to go through the cut it open one until your basically wife is also ready to use it as soon as they remove it, if it's there. The needle one is less invasive, but the way they described it to me was, imagine the globe and sticking a needle in it and hoping that wherever you land, you get a person out of it.
Hey, dude, are you just having tons of unprotected sex now?
Well, I just wasted a whole lot of money with protection for years. So
I would fuck it. I would ignore all those fucking idiots and just keep having sex and then in 5 years revisit it like you don't know anything. Start over from scratch again. Fuck these idiots.
So this is the funny thing. So
you're gonna get her pregnant, and they're gonna be like, "What?"
So the funny thing is that this was happening like probably about a year ago now that I was finding all this out. And then about 6 months ago, I reached out to my like Kaiser healthcare provider for a completely separate issue, like was something to do with like a joint pain I was having. Reached out to my healthcare provider, and whatever, it must have alerted in their system that I was like reaching out again. The urologist contacts me back and was like, "Oh, you need to come back in and do another thing." I'm like,
yeah. Fuck. They want to stick their finger in my butt so bad. They want to see inside my butthole so bad. I'm 51, man. They just want to see inside my butthole. They let me know once a month that they're dying.
Could they do it like on a live episode? No?
Probably. They'll do anything for money. I'm telling you, the last time I went in there, the guy's like, "Hey, there's 2 shots you need." I'm like, "Nah, I don't need them." He goes, "But they're free." I'm like, oh God.
Why not?
That's your pitch, you fuck nut.
It's always a money thing, right?
Yeah. And that's the problem with the system is they anticipate that everyone does have good insurance, and so they just kill they're just trying to milk that insurance system. But then the many poor people who don't have the insurance, they just get taken for a ride with it.
Yeah.
And like through CrossFit, through my own kind of journey with like taking accountability for my own health, at least I could say, nope, I got this. It's okay. Other people will just hang on every word that the healthcare provider says. And so they will just do exactly as they say. So
this guy Zach says, "Are you guys hiring soon?"
I think that my goal for hiring would probably be to grow it from within. And if I can identify a member that I see potential, I would fund their L1 and try and get them on their own coaching journey that way.
So go ahead.
It's not to say like I'm not against hiring outside, but I found from our old gym what I liked was that of the 4 or 5 coaches we had there, it was mostly members who then went to coaching, and it kind of like they were already very familiar with the type of community we had going.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think that's the problem. What's going on at CrossFit Inc. right now? I know that the 2 or 3 people that CrossFit hired when I was there from outside of CrossFit are the ones that caused the biggest problems. They derailed the company.
Yeah,
and the biggest one was in 2018 or 19 when Greg hired the CEO. That guy completely, because he came from the outside, completely derails it because they have fucking no idea. It's not even their fault. They don't even know what they don't know.
Yeah. It's not to say that like external people can come in with good ideas. It's not totally bad, but
if you had a kid that started there when he's 14, does CrossFit all through high school, goes away to college for 4 years, comes back, gets his L1, you got a fucking good coach. You got a dude who knows, he's in love. It's his dream. He couldn't stop thinking about it when he's at college. He wants to be there every day. You know what I mean? Yeah. He wants to make relationships with people.
Yeah, I mean, the goal of hiring, I knew that the first year was going to be an intense period, so we're kind of okay with it. But it's obviously not ideal that it's either me or Alana that are always coaching, and there's no opportunity for the 2 of us to not be there. But like, we're just going through a period of intensity now, and eventually it should get to a more sustainable level where we have at least one external coach that can alleviate some of the pressure.
Right. There was something in here I wanted to read. Oh, that's a great question. Rory, what is the drop-in fee and how is the parking?
For you, Philip, there's no drop-in fee, but
dang.
just pay your parking because they love giving out tickets in the city here. So Parking isn't too bad. My morning parking is good because there's a Wells Fargo and Starbucks right beside us, like on this opposite corner, and they have a parking lot that is free parking until 9 a.m. So very good in the mornings. Evenings challenging, but generally find something close by.
In total, San Francisco racked up $51.7 million across nearly 23,000 parking meters in the past year. So that's just the money in the parking meters.
Yeah, that doesn't count the probably 10 tickets that I've got in the 6 months that I've.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So I heard that 5% of San Francisco's revenue comes from citations generates a lot of revenue, about 90 million per year. That's equal to 1.5 million parking tickets. Imagine how miserable it is to live in a place, like how much it kills morale if you live in a city and you get 3 tickets a year. That sucks.
That's a good year.
That's what it is about. That averages about 3 tickets per citizen a year.
Yeah.
God, that's not good for morale. It makes
What-
you want to be
what's-
like, fuck you to the city, right? Every time you get one, you're like, dude, I'm working my ass off. I'm contributing my ass off.
Yeah.
I saw a construction worker in San Francisco on Instagram the other day. It was a construction worker in San Francisco working, and he got it. And there were 5 parking meter guys going down the street,
Mhm.
and he got a ticket. And it's like, dude, this guy's like, you just took his day's pay.
Yeah. It's they also just rolled out. I haven't seen it implemented yet, but street parking is generally 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and they approved to extend it from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
So that's good. That's good for you guys.
No, it means that it's because like generally people come and park for the evening. They're usually home by 6 p.m. It just means that there's basically they can't use street parking as parking overnight.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
But they couldn't before either.
They could after 6 p.m. they could leave their car there.
Oh.
But now they have to wait until 10 p.m. But most people are in their house by 6 or 7.
Oh my God, they're gouging the fuck out of you guys. That's such a scam.
Yeah, between that and then they've changed a lot of the parking to like 5-minute only, or with the kind of increase in like food delivery, like DoorDash and all those. It's a lot of outside restaurants. A lot of the parking is just 5 minutes or pickup only for those food services. So
right. Hey, it's you chose an interesting time to become an affiliate, right? You've been a CrossFitter for a long time, and it's during just some like, I don't know, chaotic or dramatic or exciting times. But it was a no-brainer for you, huh? You wanted to do it.
Yeah, it was kind of a thing of why did it take until now? And maybe it was just it still felt like the right time.
You chose a brand that's you chose a company that's kind of going through a lot of changes, getting rocked at sea in a city that's getting completely rocked.
Yeah. We had the Joe and Gigi in this morning doing grace at 5:45.
Who's Joe? Who's Joe and Gigi?
Biden.
Oh! Awesome.
They were their meal last night was at the Legion of Honor, which is very close to where our gym is. So all the like, there was so many cop cars went up and down the street out the front of our gym yesterday. It was insane.
And when does he leave? When do they leave?
I think it ends Sunday, maybe tomorrow even it ends. But yeah, last night they had this big meeting and meal at the Legion of Honor, which is, you probably know where that is. It's like up in the top west corner of the city.
Where are they staying? Are they staying at the same hotel?
I don't know if they're staying at the same hotel. I know Biden's staying at the Fairmont.
Okay.
I don't know. There's that many. I'm sure they're kind of spreading them around, but
yeah, wild, man. For people who don't know, the city is like really small, San Francisco, and really tight. Like you can walk the whole city if you have time.
Yeah,
And
like whenever my parents came over from Ireland for our wedding, it's the biggest city that they've ever been to. But I was trying to tell them, "Oh, this is a really small city," and they were like, "Based on where we live, it's a metropolis."
I spent so much time walking the city. I used to love walking there. What a great place. I used to do it with my current wife. Yeah, we had so much fun walking there. What do you have any advice for people who are in the pipeline now? People about opening a new affiliate? Anything that you'd like to share with them?
I mean, I know people say that you shouldn't just open it out of passion alone, and that you should be looking at it as a business, and that is very true. But it takes a lot of passion to be able to try and continually turn up hour after hour for class, to kind of reset, do it again, reset, do it again. You have to love doing this if you're going to commit that much time to it. That is, if you're going to do it as much of it by yourself or along with your partner as we are. But there's obviously a reason that someone wants to do it. So if it's there and you see that you could build this community, then I would tell them to go for it. But definitely do your homework. I done a lot of Chris Cooper's. I had his Start a Gym book. I read it. I listened to it. I absorb a lot of their content online. I spoke to Matt for probably an hour about a year or more than a year ago, and just went through a lot of the different challenges, and he gave me a ton of advice. Talked to other gym owners, asked them what the good and bad parts are about it. But when you hear all of that and you hear that it's maybe not this money making thing and you still want to do it, well, then there's something telling you that you should probably do it. Just be prepared to work hard when you open it.
How did you know to look at Chris Cooper's work? How did you know about Two Brain Business?
Probably through this podcast, or through the original CrossFit podcast you done with them.
Wow. So you've consumed a ton of content.
Yeah. I work as a construction manager. Most of my projects have been around the Bay Area. Now I'm in the North Bay a lot, but commutes are an opportunity to just absorb content, kind of quieter hours, or when I'm just doing like more mindless activities for work, just kind of like have something running in my ear that it's helping to learn from.
Do you think, let me say something pretty extreme here. Do you think it's just fucking crazy to open a CrossFit gym and not read at least one of Cooper's books, a Two Brain Business book?
Yeah. At the time I was absorbing it, he was not an affiliate with CrossFit, I don't think at the time, but it's like still he is deeply rooted in CrossFit. Most of his content, he'll talk about other micro gyms and other forms of training, but it is so applicable to a CrossFit gym that it is your manual for what you kind of need to get in place and what you need to consider. CrossFit themselves do provide a manual as well. What I found was that they wouldn't provide it until you paid the affiliation. And I'm like, well, I have to go through so many steps before I pay the affiliation that most of the stuff that you're telling me in the book, I've already gone through.
Oh,
so having his information before that definitely helped. I reached out and wanted to kind of secure the affiliate name. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, you can't fully lock it in. We'll hold it, but we can't fully lock it in until you give us the affiliation fee. And in order to give the affiliation fee, you need to give proof of insurance for the premises. And I'm like, do you know how many steps are involved before getting to there? So I secured the name and had to keep extending it because they give me like a 3-month time frame. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, you can have the name, pay within 3 months. And I'm like, I can't even find a property within 9 months. So I just had to keep extending it until I found it. If someone had came along and wanted the name, they could have taken it off. But
they accommodated you though. Even,
Yeah,
even,
no,
even though it was a pain in the ass, they accommodated you.
Yeah, the lady I dealt with, I can't recall her name right now, but she was helpful.
Yeah, most people aren't trying to get a gym in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Or which needs 20 gyms. I trip whenever I have Cooper on that someone would open a business and not utilize Two Brain as a business. Every time I have him on, the numbers are crazy. The difference between people who use him and the people who don't. Like the whole doubling in revenue is kind of fucking like, you should at least go fucking look what he's saying.
Yeah, like I spoke to Matt about it as well, and
Matt Souza.
Yeah, when they say people who work with Two Brain and people who don't, that is like people who are under their mentorship and people who don't. There's still people who absorb all of their content and are able to kind of run a gym successfully, like Souza. I don't think that Souza ever went through had a mentor from Two Brain, but he definitely used a lot of the content from Two Brain. And I, with that advice, went down a similar path. I think it's just an expenditure thing for people, and it would be for me as well. Definitely from day one, it's like my rent is super high, my utilities, everything that it takes to just get this thing open is super high. Do I need to add a mentorship on top of that right away? It's not to say
you don't even need to. You could get the shit free from the book. When he was on here, he said something so interesting, or I saw it somewhere. He basically said 95% of the stuff we do is for free, and the mentorship is really, at its heart, just expedites it. So you can do it all on your own, but if you get the mentorship, things might move a little faster. But like, he really believes in the model of giving stuff away for free. I mean, it just
the amount of things that the latest podcast you had with him, the amount of times that he said, "Oh yeah, and we just donated that money," and yeah, we just donated that money. It almost feels like he's not doing it, running this as a business to make money. He's just running it to help others run their business.
Weird how that works.
Yeah.
Pedro from Coffee Pods and Wads.
Has he been?
I'm late. Has Rory been mercilessly mocked about his
the northern accent's much nicer than Pedro's southern accent.
Brother, thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing all the stories, and stay in touch. I'm curious how it goes. Let me know if you're ever in the area in Santa Cruz. We're on basically opposite ends of the bay, but you're a cool dude. Congratulations on your gym. Thanks for doing what you're doing just from being a citizen of planet Earth. It's cool. You're doing the right thing. It's like something when you do have kids, you can be proud of. Yeah, I saved people's lives for a living. So it's cool.
Yeah. If you ever want to, I know you sent, if you ever want to take the kids up and walk Golden Gate Bridge or something, our gym is.
Oh yeah. Cool. I do want
to 5 minutes of the gym. So
yeah. All right, brother. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Great having you on. Rory from Fior.
Yeah. Fior.
How do you say it?
I say it Fior. A lot of our members say Fior as well, but
Fior Fitness in San Francisco. Drop in. Great gym. Thanks, buddy. Have a good day.
All right. Cheers.
Ciao. Balls of steel.
No doubt.
What was Rory's last name?
Marlow.
Rory Marlow. Fuck balls of steel. My goodness. I say this from the bottom of my heart, from the top of my heart, from the center of my heart. I say this to you. You have to understand this. You have to understand this. Democrats and Joe Biden and all those people in that cohort, they fucking hate black people. They fucking hate you. It's worse than they want to kill you. They want you to suffer and wallow. They've done, imagine everything you could do to hurt black people. Oh, We have something worse than slavery. We're going to let them think that they're free, but we're going to keep them as slaves. You think, oh, Sevan's lost his mind. This is some crazy shit. This is some fucking hyperbole. Dude, what would you do if you wanted to really, really hurt people with melanated skin? I'll tell you what you do. The first thing you do is you make sure that they can't read, write, or do math. That's the first thing you do.
Tell us what happened when San Francisco decided to do Algebra 1 out of 8th grade.
It has been a disaster. For 10 years, since 2014, by moving Algebra 1 out of the 8th grade with the idea that African-American kids would have a bump up in their academic math, it hasn't been the case. Only 9% of African-American kids at San Francisco Unified School District are proficient in math. And this is over 10 years. Where's the victory there? You cannot get the calculus as a high school student in San Francisco Unified, which is in the middle of Silicon Valley. Think about that. People with money and resources, they just work around it. While the kids whose families either don't know or don't have the resources, they're stuck. The results of a Stanford study show that there's been no achievement gains for African-American kids over the last 10 years. This was a Stanford study that was published in March of this year.
I say it with peace and love. They fucking hate us. To my black brothers and sisters, they hate us. Do not fall for their shit anymore. They support the killing of our babies in the wound. They don't want us to be educated. And they won't protect us with police officers. They've tricked us to hate police officers so we can kill each other. It's a full-blown fucking war against us from that party. Stop worrying about the It's okay that Donald Trump wants a Jew to be his accountant over a black guy. That's not racist. It's called just discernment. Thank you. Say with peace and love. Did I already say that? That is with peace and love?
No, you said it from the bottom of your heart to start with. Now you're saying with peace and love.
Yeah, that's better because I don't even know though. I don't understand heart talk. The bottom, the top, the main valve. Damn, I've had a scratchy throat for a few days now. I wonder what's going on.
Yeah, when I heard you talking, I was wondering if there was something wrong with you.
Nothing. Dude, I got some. Oh, but before I say anything bad about coffee, listen. Crazy Black Friday sale. Crazy Black Friday sale. Paper Street Coffee, PAPERST Coffee. Don't spell out street. Paper Seaman Coffee. You want to get tea there. It's 3 teas for the price of 1. It's going to be a very short window. Very short window. Look, it hasn't even popped up yet. It's gonna be. I don't even. What is Black Friday? Is that racist?
Black Friday should be.
Look at the Asian girl's gonna buy some tea.
Should be next Friday.
Judy, that was too easy, Judy. Who wants to call in and see that the phone's working? What a beast I am. I got this shit working now. I got this shit working. Although I got it working last night. I don't even know how. And this is all fucked up. Let me call fuck you guys. Don't call me. I'm gonna call Sousa. Oh, Livermore, California. You think that's him?
Maybe.
Oh shit, it's not working. Do you hear anything?
No.
What a mess. I swear it was working last night. It won't even call him. Maybe someone should call me. Let me see. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good sign. Oh shit. Here we go.
They're working?
Oh my goodness. Beast. You sound good.
Sweet.
Too. Where are you calling from?
Texas.
Oh shit, that's awesome. That means that's good. That's far away. That means people can call in from far away on this phone.
Long distance.
Yeah, this
Hey,
Cool.
do you
Well-
like Wendy's?
No.
You fucked the joke up. Oh my God. My sister texted me after I told that joke and she's like, "You're stupid."
Cool. Well,
What's up, dude? What are you
glad it's
doing? Are
working.
you eating carrots? What are you doing? What's up, Doc?
eating some grapes.
Great.
Actually, eating some watermelon.
Eating some watermelon and grapes. All right.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I love you. Thanks for testing it out.
All right, no problem.
All right, late.
Bye.
God, what a great line. I need that too in the sound bites. What's up, Doc? Dude, Bugs Bunny's such a G. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? Man, I started like hurting in my inside started hurting a little bit. Thinking
What?
about filming the L1 again. I just welcome to the Sevan Podcast, the big and best podcast in the CrossFit space, and soon breaking out of the ecosystem to take over the world. How can I help you?
Oh, awesome. You got the phone working, huh?
Let a play. I don't even know how, dude. I came in here last night and was just diddling it. It's like when my wife has an orgasm. I don't know how, but like I fucking feel like if I was in the room.
Just press every button.
If I was in
every
this
button.
state, I'm taking credit.
Oh,
I don't know
my
how it
goodness.
happened.
Hey, did you see the text thread with Tommy G?
No.
It looks like our guest class pots again, man. He's with that Ricky guy from San Francisco who we've been trying to get on the show.
Oh, awesome.
They're together right now.
Awesome.
They're together.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's in the Bay Area till the end of the weekend. And I reached out to Ricky too, and it looks like that was our in because I was like, dude, Tommy G's coming on the show. Let's get you scheduled. And he's like, all right. So now I'm in communication with him to lock down a day here pretty soon.
Oh my God. Hey, let me call you. I'm going to try calling Tommy G right now. Hold on.
All right. Do it.
Let me see.
Okay.
I'm going to try calling on my phone because he won't recognize the landline.
Oh, the podcast
That
number.
is crazy. What's that guy's name? That guy's name's Ricky.
Ricky, yeah. They were together the whole morning. It was funny watching it on Ricky's Instagram.
Hi, this is Tom. Hope you're doing
Oh.
well.
Okay.
He might be filming. It might
okay.
be on.
I'm live
Disturbed.
on the air. I'm going to send him a link and see if he'll come on,
great
and
idea.
see if he'll come on with pop on for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to send him a heart.
Yeah, that'll get him the heart.
Yeah. You want to know a little tidbit about Dave Castro?
Yeah.
Little inside. Dave doesn't use any emojis ever.
I could definitely believe that. He doesn't seem like an emoji guy.
Yeah, no emojis. Like a hard pass on the emojis. Hard pass.
He's missing out.
Yeah, wild. Hey, that dude's cool as shit. The Fior guy. That's two cool affiliate owners. Hey, my sister even called me yesterday, and she even liked that affiliate series. Oh my God. Caleb just pulled this up. Hold on, Suza. He's gonna play this. Okay, go ahead, Caleb.
Tommy G out here, and we just got some film over here. Individuals, doing the San Francisco most. My people right here.
We're not doing San Francisco most. We're doing San Francisco least.
Oh, the San Francisco least. Okay, my boy got an ankle monitor on though. Look at that. I ain't telling on you, brother. I ain't gonna tell on you like that. I ain't gonna tell on you like that. Come on. But it's not telling if you can't get in trouble though. That's the problem out here, Tommy G, that you really cannot get in trouble out here for anything. You can't get in trouble for anything. So it's really people are walking around the street with impunity. They got ankle monitor on and they just out here smoking dope. It's crazy. I'm really trying to figure out how everything is working. I'm here with my boy.
Damn. I'm so stoked for them, Souza. This is so good.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Saves us a drive out there.
Well, he actually put a thing in his, I think it might have been in that post, and he's like, if you want to film something or do anything, reach out. And I think that's his actual number. He just dropped in there.
Oh, he just said a number?
No, it should be in the comments or something. I forget where I saw it.
Oh. He just texted me back and he says he's in back-to-back meetings. He said he's going to really try, but we'll be gone by then. But I'm going to just take a picture of the screen and show it to him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. This is so cool. I'm so stoked for them.
I know. I wish I would have known that they would have come out, or it was coming out and getting together. It would have been cool to try to arrange something with both of them.
Jake Chapman says emojis are gay. I think he means like homosexual. I try to use one for every emojis are kind of stupid. I'm okay with
that is impossible.
What, for emojis to be gay? They're not sexual creatures.
Yeah, how are they gonna have a sexual preference?
Yeah, good point.
Get out of here with that. That's misinformation.
All right.
Good show.
Yeah. I have some deep state shit I need to share with you.
Oh man, I have a story for you. I was almost gonna tell it right now, but I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna tell you first, and then we'll see.
All right.
Okay. Call me later when you're off there.
Okay, I'm gonna call you soon. I'm taking the boys to the skate park because it's not gonna rain for another 3 hours, and then it's gonna get fucking crazy, dude. Hey, what's gonna happen tomorrow with your 10-year?
We don't have you mean a part of the rain's considered?
Yeah, it's gonna be dumping tomorrow.
I don't know if it is out here. We've checked it so far, and it wasn't. We might not hit it, and if we do, it's not a big deal. We have a contingency plan. It wasn't focused outside anyway, so we're fine.
I just sniffled my nose and I muted you instead of my mic.
Nice.
Shows how much you care about the viewers, huh?
Hey, hold on. Make Souza stay quiet for a second so you can hear me snort. That backfired. Oh, you think I should call Horvat on the new phone? Celebrate? Laura.
I don't know. Did we reach our minimum required distance from the last call yet?
No, it's not definitely.
We have to have that minimum time frame.
Yeah. All right. What's his name? Oh, we have a podcast today at 4.
Yeah, the CrossFit update show.
Yeah. Taylor. Oh, I should call Taylor. All right. I'll give you a call later. I'll give you a call soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye. We should call Taylor. I bet you he's going to flake.
No way he'll answer. But I think he said he's going to come on.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I bet he flakes on the show today.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, because he's doing the Charlotte Classic right now. Are there any photos on his Instagram of maybe like him kicking off the Charlotte Classic? Let's see what's going on. Taylor's supposed to come on the show today at 4 with John Young and Pedro. Taylor wants to go through every single CrossFit Games athlete. Like give him a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't even know what the criteria is.
Perception.
Hey, this is Taylor. If you could leave your name and phone number and a brief message, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Bye.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Taylor, do you like Wendy's? You know, Wendy's nuts slapping you across your face. Chin on your balls, buddy. Balls on your chin, buddy. Man, they're going at it.
I think he had the class to do the workout first.
Someone's going to get a splinter. There'll be a lawsuit, and we'll shut down the gym. He works there. What's Taylor's relationship with CF Charlottesville? That's Hendel's gym, and he works there. I think Hendel's like his mentor, his father.
Hendel works there?
I don't know. Andy Hendel owns it. Spencer Hendel's dad.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
You literally offered to suck Taylor's dick. You literally. It was not illiterately. You illiterately offered to suck Taylor's dick.
Hello? No. Everything's good here. Everybody's working hard. Nobody has left their desks all day. I've been keeping an eye on them.
I bet you my form is just as good as Taylor's on overhead squats, I've only done 100 in the last 8 years.
Your mobility?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gonna have to see it.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do 10 with 75, but definitely with the 45-pound bar, my mobility is easily as good as. I'm gonna go put on a pair of long johns right now.
Do it.
So this is what I was going to tell you about coffee, and then I'm going to leave you alone. Get your tea, get your Swolverine. Swolverine's going to have a crazy 30% off too sale. Oh, someone told me that they bought the $700 bottle from California Peptides.
What?
Of the weight loss bottle.
Really?
Yeah. They said it's working. They said it's 5 weeks worth and it's working.
Oh, you just do it like once a week or something?
Trip Deserlone. What is it? Fucking, where is that? CA peptides. Oh, wait. Here we go. It's called
Tesamorelin?
Terzepatide. Terzepatide. I wonder how much it would cost to get just a bottle of everything.
At least over $1,000. I think I just saw 2 vials that were, this is 700 and the other one was 300. But the rest are relatively cheap.
Someone was asking me how to take it. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I take every bottle that I've gotten. I just split into overhead schlong squats. Yes. Every look at Dad, the 3 kiddos. Every bottle I get, I just divide it by 10. Oh, that shit works. It does work, Hiller. That stuff works. Oh, that bottle goes against everything affiliates stand for. So if you want to put your affiliate out of business, make sure you buy a bottle of Terzepatide. Terzepatide. Hey, dude, Jake, let me ask you this. I'm with you. I hear you. I don't agree. I don't agree with you, but let me ask you this. That is way fucking more benign than a fucking stomach staple or a cut out a section of your fucking intestine. I mean, I wouldn't even consider those in the same fucking world, would you? And so if you're supposed to weigh 180 and you weigh 360 and you fucking want to try that, I ain't hating on you. That's for sure. Sevy loves taking shortcuts. So I was drinking. Oh, look at this. Wow. The phone is on fire. Mr. Hiller. Hello? Oh, fuck. We reached our 2 phone call limit.
God, ran out of minutes.
Hello? Damn, it doesn't work anymore. Damn it. Hello? Hold on. Let me see if I can reconnect it. Yeah, hold on. Damn, that sucks. God, that sucks. I thought I had cracked the code.
So you can hear me, but no one else can? Can Caleb hear me?
They can kind of hear you. You're just on speakerphone. How about now?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay, here we
There you
go. Okay, go ahead.
I can hear Caleb. Cool.
You think terzepatide works?
I know it works.
You gave it to a client or you took some?
I've had a couple of clients use it, all of which, from what I can tell, it gives them when you're a human growing up, you eventually just become someone who consumes too much food when you're overweight. It gives them an awareness of how much food they should consume.
Oh,
right.
So you get on it, you're not hungry, and then you realize, wow, I can live on a sandwich and a banana every day, no problem. And so then when you get off of it, you kind of calibrate and don't eat like an asshole.
There you go. Perfect. And I think right before I called, I heard you say it's less benign than what?
Or it's more benign. It's like than fucking like going on, like having a section of your fucking large intestine cut out.
Right. Because now here's what I look at it as. It's like you can go get that done, but you need doctor approval. And I've actually got a close friend who's obese, has been overweight his entire life, and is my age, 32, and went to go see if he was a candidate for it. And they said no, which he shouldn't be because he's my age. To go eat healthy, they said. But then he got on Ozempic and is down 40 pounds, which is the same sort of compound as the one that starts with a T that I can't pronounce.
Terzepatide.
And in both cases, it's my opinion that you can re-enlarge your stomach. So like you can slowly become obese again, like slowly make your stomach the same size it was. Or you can lose that new awareness of how much food you need to eat and still eat and become too big. So with what Jake Chapman just said, it's true. It goes against everything, but at least it gives them a newfound awareness.
Give me an example of how it goes against everything. What do you mean it goes against everything? Just like hard work, personal accountability.
Did you and I have the eating disorder conversation?
I'm sure it's half the time we're on the phone we talk about our eating disorders. Like 15-year-old girls.
I was going to make an entire video on this, but we can talk about it, where right underneath eat meat and vegetables, nothing seeds, a little starch, no sugar. It says eat for amounts of food that only allow for exercise and no more, no excess body fat, and fitness in 100 words.
Right.
And I think kind of at the base of that statement is where a lot of eating disorders are founded, or at least modern day eating disorders. As I think that bulimia and anorexia are totally things that happen, but just like not everyone needs ADD medication, not everyone has an eating disorder. Sometimes if you eat too much one day, you should work out more the next day.
Right.
And that's the conversation that I'm talking about. Your question was, how does it go against everything?
Yeah.
The answer to that is because it's an ass around way of doing the same thing. You would like for people to figure it out on their own, but in the same light as Coca-Cola is a company and they make billions of dollars and we don't like it. It's kind of what they do with their product that people are going to buy anyway. Either people are going to be fat or they're going to get in shape. And if you can give them an out, and now they've found a new way, I'm kind of, because I've had clients go through it and I've worked with them for years.
Here, let me,
and I've tried to like do every ass around way to get them to lose weight.
Yeah.
And then they take the stuff and then they stop taking it and they're not reliant on it anymore and they keep the weight off.
How about this? A lot of people take ayahuasca or LSD, or they take these drugs, these medicinal drugs, this plant medicine. I think that's more cheating than just going off and doing a 10-day silent retreat with no eye contact with other humans. I think Ozempic and terzepatide is less cheating than taking ayahuasca, because that one.
What does ayahuasca do for
so
you?
basically, you take ayahuasca, you have this fucking experience, and you realize that you don't know everything, and you get for a lot of people, it's their first time tapping into the unknown. And once you tap into the unknown, these are the cliff notes. You start to realize, you start to cultivate an awareness that there's something out there that's greater than you, or maybe that God exists, right? Or that there's one consciousness. You start tapping into some shit that you might not be aware of just on your day-to-day fucking autopilot mode, because you're stuck in the matrix.
Okay.
But if you fucking take these drugs, a part of you is always like in the back, well, maybe it was just the drugs. But if you do that shit on your own and you walk off into the fucking forest and you fucking sit in lotus position and fucking commit to fucking no action and stillness, you have the experience that you did it. You know what I mean? And there's no question. You're like, oh fuck, I witnessed something that wasn't chemically induced. And what I'm saying is this terzepatide it's a more real experience than fucking taking ayahuasca, because you're just you're using it to like you said, to sort of recalibrate.
There's levels to it. Ayahuasca is an extreme, terzepatide's in the middle, but it's on the spectrum.
Yeah, but I don't think you're questioning. Like, I think that's a perfect example. I had that same experience that you're talking about with using some other drugs in college. When I was taking MDMA for like a month straight, I fucking basically just stopped eating. That was like one of the best things I figured out from it. And I did have that experience you're saying. I was like, holy shit, it takes so little to sustain life.
And once you're aware of it, you can do stuff such as don't eat for a day and then eat the next day.
Right.
And
Or
it's
you could
like
be
really
like,
no
hey,
big
it's
deal.
fine. Yeah, it's fine if I just eat a fucking apple and a fucking like the eating the steak and apple diet makes total sense to you once you know that. And you're like, yeah, I get it.
That's the Hunter McIntyre special. Steak and apples.
Zach, my sister man, you know your knowledge. Zach, my sister takes Ozempic. She wouldn't change her habits. She's lost like 70 pounds and looks great, but it's soft as hell. I hate the working hard the last few months on my weight loss journey with the pill. Well, Zach, but what if she did work out? That I get that, but what if you take that drug and you're working out?
Well, it's big in bodybuilding, and you brought up, God, I can't pronounce it, but I just like to call it Ozempic, Wegovy, or semaglutide, because it's all the same shit. What is it that you compared it to? You compared it to a tummy tuck or gastric bypass.
Right.
It's not as bad as a gastric bypass, and in the bodybuilding community, it's not as bad as taking clenbuterol. Are you aware of what clenbuterol is?
No. It makes you skinny, sucks down. Oh, gets rid of all the water. Dehydrates you?
I think it might play a little bit of a role in that, but the main thing that it does is that there will be bodybuilders who are in such a huge calorie deficit. They're in their final days and weeks leading up to a contest, bodybuilding show where they're standing on stage and they're trying to lose as much body fat as possible. But they're in such a calorie deficit that they can't move. They can't work out. They can't sit on a bike. They can't walk. So they take clenbuterol, which will make them shake. It basically bumps your heart rate and it makes you shake. And it increases your BMR by 10%, 15%.
That's why little dogs shake. Did you know that?
Because they're cold.
No, but it's the body's mechanism for producing body heat. Wow, that's crazy, and that's what clenbuterol does. Shakes you so you can
so it just like it makes your body, it makes your heart rate elevate and you'll shake. And it's super dangerous, but it's also a tried and true method for bodybuilders to lose a little bit of extra body fat towards the end of their contest preparation. And recently they've shifted semaglutide, and it's not the best, it's better.
Here, let me read this, what Christine Young is saying, because I think we all are agreeing. You should be teaching yourself to eat healthy. Check. Taking something to get skinny does not make you healthy inside. Check. If I'm skinny and putting bad stuff in my body, I'm still not healthy. Check. I agree. But what I'm saying is, if you are if you're exercising 7 days a fucking week, and you've been doing that for 2 or 3 years, and you're still 60 pounds overweight, and
it's your diet.
Yeah, it's your diet. And I don't, and at some point, like I don't and you're a grown ass adult.
People
I don't
don't
have
even
a,
know
I
what
don't have a
eating like
problem
an
with you.
asshole is.
I don't have a problem. I don't think you experimenting with terzepatide versus meth or whatever. It's different than what it's different. It's different than what Zach was saying. Hey, there was one second. Zach is saying he doesn't like the fact that his sister got skinny fat from taking those drugs. Right. But when we did the first Killing the Fat Man, Gary Roberts went to a gym and he met a lady there and he did a video on her, and the lady did gastric bypass surgery and she went from 280 pounds to 135 pounds, but she'd never felt worse in her life. Then she found CrossFit and she got back up to 155 pounds. And she said, man, I wish I would have never done the gastric bypass. I wish I just would have found CrossFit and tried that first.
How come? Why'd you say that?
Because when she had the gastric bypass, it put her on meds for the rest of her life, because the section of her intestine or whatever they took out was the part of the intestine that absorbed certain vitamins and minerals that she no longer had. So she had to supplement. It's insane. It was insanity.
Yeah,
but I agree. You don't want to, you'd rather be 30 pounds overweight and do CrossFit than be skinny fat. Fucking I totally agree. But I don't think anyone should be, if you're supposed to weigh 180 and you're 360 and you want to try that shit, like I ain't hating. There's no way I can hate that.
Hey,
like,
did you here's something for you. The other day you said you were watching the Bears game and you realized how niche we are with Tyson and his handstand walk comment, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's average to us, but everyone else thinks it's fucking crazy. That's how niche the people listening to this podcast are too. And when you put that into perspective, yeah, of course, just eat better. Let's just tell everyone to eat better, but they're fucking not gonna. And if it's gonna take billions of people, and they're gonna look at something like this, and it's gonna give them a newfound awareness, and the whole world's gonna lose weight and be healthier. And if a high percentage of those people are gonna be like my clients, where they're like, hey, I haven't taken this drug in a year. Yeah. And I still know that I don't need to eat that much. And this client went from 265 to 225.
Yeah.
And then 1 year later, they haven't gone over 235 because they just know. They're like, hey, I don't need to eat this much, but I didn't know before. That's where I stand with it, because I couldn't fucking do shit to convince him otherwise, because he looks at handstand walkers and thinks they're crazy.
Right. If you're adding
there's a better way.
Someone said if you're adding affiliate, this shouldn't even be an option. I don't know. I actually,
I don't think it should be stapled on the wall.
No, but I actually I did a piece on a guy at an affiliate who had lost 50 pounds. He'd gone from 400 to 350. And then the other members were like, dude, he's been going here 10 years, dude. Like they were like shitting on him. Hey, there's this guy who is at Rogue in the Paper Street booth, and he has a podcast called Cancel Culture Podcast. Cancel Culture. No, what's it called?
I think I watched it.
Counterculture Podcast.
Did he have Travis on?
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude. He's from the he's like been a CrossFitter for like 3 years.
I think he was a pretty decent podcaster.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah, he's a good podcaster. Totally.
He listens. Yeah.
There was something in there. He said, before, when I found CrossFit like 3 years ago, or when I was in this strongman bodybuilding world or whatever world he was in, I think it was strongman. He said, we used to look over at CrossFit and we'd be like, man, those are like the gun-toting libertarian. That's the gun-toting libertarian brand. And
oh boy.
Yeah. And that was so, and those are like country folk that exercise, you know what I mean? Like a Colt Mertens, Rich Froning, like Rich sits on his deck and shoots a gun. You know what I mean? They don't swim in a pool. They don't swim in a pool. They swim in a pond. You know what I mean? Like that shit's like weird to fucking city dwellers. Like the first time you go to Rich's house, if you're from like Boston and you see they swim in a pond, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Leeches. I thought that was so, and then he said, it's kind of weird how woke culture is like sinking into CrossFit, coming into CrossFit. And I just thought that was interesting. I'm just adding that. There's no point to what I'm saying, but that's adding to that perspective. Like, yeah, for us, I get why everyone in the comments like fuck terzepatide. The same reason that they're like,
is that what they're saying?
Yeah,
what they're saying.
Yeah. They're like, fuck you.
I could imagine that.
Yeah, you and Hill are just trying to make money for peptide shit like that. I mean, all like nothing mean. Just like, I want nothing that's a lie.
No, I mean, yeah.
So, you know.
No, here's the thing. I wouldn't say it if I didn't see it work, because I know I put a video out, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 months ago saying don't do this. But then I've had clients use it since because it's been making the waves and they've caught word of it and they've used it and it's worked, and you can't deny it. It's I don't know, man. I don't really know like what sort of an analogy to use, but it's just once you see it, and they're doing great.
Why did you make the CrossFit commercial? Were you feeling bad for ass pounding them so hard? You were just like, fuck, I'm gonna flip the script.
How'd you like it?
It wasn't my cup of tea. Too complicated.
That's fine.
Too complicated for me. But
I was wondering if it
let me
if
tell
it would
you,
get
when I
lost in
say
there.
that, it's still a fucking 10, like it's what needs to be made.
Well, for a couple of reasons. I really enjoyed doing things that I think they should do, and I
Yeah.
do it for free, and they don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Or like they couldn't pay someone $10,000 to do it because they don't know where to start.
Right. I thought
So that's
saw
one
it.
reason.
Oh, look, Matt Souza called it brilliant. But he's a little smarter than me. Yeah, it was probably maybe too smart.
I was just
Maybe it
rolling
was
through
too smart for
Instagram and
me.
I was inspired.
Yeah.
I was rolling through Instagram and I was inspired, so I just started rolling with it.
Listen-
Alexis wasn't home yet, so I had 45 minutes or so.
Let me read the. Oh, do you need to start your workout? I heard something beep.
No, that's from when it started. That's the 99-minute mark.
Jeremy E. World, legendary. Scott Rippey, this is the content I'm here for. Matt Souza, brilliant. Arthur, fantastic. I hope your 3.0 IG account is ready, brother. This is some hardcore
3.0
stuff.
is deleted.
The
3.0
conversation
is
that we
down.
are terrified of having are the first ones we should be having. Well done, sir. Twitter lady can count the reasons, but not the calories. Well done, young man. Oh, that's from Jeffrey Birchford. Philip Kelly says, this shit is fire. I'll suck your cock. Wow, that's weird. The world's most vexing problem. Well done, Hiller. I'm ready to run through a wall. Holy shit.
That was Rob. He's cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty hardcore comment.
He's got a great affiliate down in Miami.
Travis Bellinghausen
Boca.
Doing God's work. Boca La Raton.
That's right. Crazy cool affiliate down there.
Yet most days he hates on CrossFit. Make up your mind. Oh yeah, let's read the comments in there. Nah, he's keeping it real. Omit the L1 from your bio. You need it. Will Brandstetter, do you think CrossFit is the people that work for the company and the people that participate in the company sport? ? When has he ever run down the methodology originally taught by Greg? He's critical of what HQ has become, the direction it is headed. Now they choose to apply standards and other aspects of the professional athletes in the space, not buying it or giving back to the community. However, I have not seen any critique of CrossFit as a means for gaining and maintaining health and wellness. There's a difference between
ding.
There's a difference between hating the institution and hating the methodology.
Ding.
I don't even think you hate the institution. You've just been like, yo, I don't know what they expect. You can't send out a letter to the affiliate saying that the affiliate director doesn't have an L1 and not expect like people to fall out of their seats laughing. You know, like,
hey, you want to hear something? Do
you remember in the 90s
today about that?
Yeah, you probably don't remember, but in the 90s, like there was this thing like you always saw, like whenever they showed black people laughing, they'd be falling out of their seats. Do you remember that? Like Arsenio Hall shit. And that's what that was. Like you sent out a letter to the affiliate saying the guy, I mean, I don't know. I can't, at some point I got to be like, hey, you guys got to meet Hiller. That's 51% your fault. And I don't know. Like that was just weird. Go ahead. What were we going to say?
How come Monster only had 1 year of the games?
You want to know what I think? I don't know this for a fact, but you want to know what I think?
I do.
So I think someone kicked him out.
Who do you think someone is?
I think Don Fall told him we're done with that deal.
Okay. Now tell me if that's true.
Yeah. I'm 99. I would bet $100 on that. And I don't remember. Okay. I'm being honest. I don't remember who I heard that from or where. But my understanding was that Don was like, "Hey,
$500 on that.
That it's true."
That what you said is true.
Yeah, he said. Did you hear that also? That basically he's like, "Hey, man, I don't think this aligns with the message we're trying to send." Which.
All right, now hold that thought.
Yeah.
Who the hell hired DeCoons and Grau?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, DeCoons, whichever one worked at Twitter. Twitter was the company and whoever's worked at Facebook, those are the companies that were against squatting below parallel and reducing refined carbohydrates, and they censored people for that. So that shit is weird.
You said it didn't align with the message.
Yeah.
And then does that. So that's just an interesting thought.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, it's just a question mark.
Of, yeah.
You're saying like it's a dead end road there. Like, okay, I buy that. Hey, here's the thing too. Let me also just throw this in there to fuck with you guys. Greg would have totally accepted the sponsorship from Monster.
The same way that Panda Express was accepted?
Dude, he'd accept it from Philip Morris. He would stand up and be like, I will take money from anyone who wants to sponsor the fucking games. But let me tell you something. We ain't endorsing that any of your shit. Meaning,
but thanks for the money.
Yeah, thanks for the money. But we ain't endorsing shit.
How about McDonald's?
Anyone. He'd have taken money from fucking anyone. He didn't get. He wanted to sequester it all onto the game side. So and that CrossFit could say anything they want about it. So he could be like, Jesus. I mean, he said that about Reebok. Jesus, your shoes are horrible. You guys have 75 different pairs of shoes and one of them are good. I mean, they hated that shit. He used to ass pound
Reebok did.
Yeah. He ass pounded them.
Well, I'm assuming that there was something in the contract that said he could do that.
Yeah. They cut out the non-disparagement shit.
And then CrossFit only got a fraction of what they could have gotten, I'm sure.
Right. Dude, they made a shoe that was a knockoff of the Nano 2. And it looked just like the Nano 2 and fit like the Nano 2. The materials were a little bit different. It was a little bit heavier. And they wanted to give Greg a money for that shoe. And I sat in a meeting in San Francisco on the top floor with the CEO of Reebok at the time, Matt O'Toole and Greg. Dave and Nicole were there. And Greg said, fuck you, I don't want money from that shoe. And they're like, well, we're going to sell it anyway. He's like, don't put my name on it, and I don't want money from it. And that shoe sold a shitload. And CrossFit, because he didn't want.
It was a Reebok shoe.
It was a fucking Nano 2. They made a Nano 2 knockoff with just like lesser materials.
So it was cheaper for them and more money for Greg potentially.
Yeah, but he didn't take it. I thought that was stupid. I was all.
Why didn't he take it?
I was all about it. Yeah, he didn't want anyone fucking. He didn't want a lesser shoe affiliated with the brand. I think, to tell you the truth, Greg hated the fact that he ever fell for the Reebok deal anyway. I think
what would he have done instead?
I don't know. Nothing. Yeah, just like, you know, I don't want to, but basically it would have gone the way. You've been telling me some ideas about a video you're going to pitch, you were telling me some ideas about a video you're planning on making. You were running them by me, and I think it would have gone more like that. I don't want to give out any clues, but I think things would have turned out more like how your video, you were telling me about this idea.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different pace.
I think everyone liked the Reebok CrossFit games.
They were cool. The Nano 2 was cool.
They were fans of the shoe and the bright colored jerseys and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I know one of the biggest things that was probably noble, other than their shipping, was the color scheme. It's just cream colored and gay.
Well, I hated the Reebok colors. It reminds me of rad shit, but it's like 80s jazzercise shit. It's like something, something that J.R. Howell's mom would wear. Damn. Fuck JR up.
Because she owns a yoga, or she Pilates. What does she have? A jazzercise?
Yeah, she's so gangster. Imagine holding on to a brand so long that it's fucking cool again. Man.
That's cool. That's going to be, hey, dude, I have
that's CrossFit.
I don't know what you guys were talking about before I called in, but I was watching marble racing yesterday with Alexis.
Wow.
You ever seen that?
No.
Oh my God.
So dude, it has 4 events. This dude sets up all these apparatuses, and there are these 8 marbles.
Oh, I have seen this on YouTube. I have seen this. This is actually kind of addicting. I saw it not with marbles. I saw it with Hot Wheels.
I'm assuming it's the exact same thing. How many views did that have?
I can't remember, but it was really cool.
All right.
Wow, this is beautiful.
This marble thing has somebody commentating it as if it's a race, because it is. And there's 4 events, and it's like which marble wins or which color of marble wins. And dude, it does not matter. There's nothing different about the marbles, but it's the way the guy commentates over it, the way it's presented. There's marbles in the stands, and 14 million views. And the entire CrossFit Games,
winner,
you add
the
up
team
all
with
of
the
them,
best
they don't
score.
even have 8 million.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna watch a little bit about this. Wow, hold that stat. You got to say that stat again. Okay, go.
Cumulatively from 2 runs. Rangers and Indigo Stars will get us going in this one. And the Rangers have lost a couple farther back, but they do get 1 in the 10 along with Indigo Stars. Remember, you don't want to end up in that catch.
The Marble League.
Is that the one with 14 million?
No.
Okay, so what were you saying? It has 14 million views.
Yeah, and it's one video, and the CrossFit Games in its entirety, all the stuff that was streamed, is not even hitting 8 million. All 4 days.
Dude, you know this is like so popular somewhere fucking weird, like some in Japan.
It's
like
Vietnam. It's Gels Marble Runs. GELLES Marble Runs.
You know what's crazy? This makes me want to buy a bag of marbles.
And then there's that. That's what the CrossFit Games is supposed to do, right? Make you want to go do CrossFit.
What's Danny Spiegel's account supposed to make you want to do?
I don't know, Caleb. What does it make you want to do?
Go fast and eat ass.
Run through a wall at the Shadikin. Oh, all right, Hiller. Thank you. Thank you for blessing us. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Hiller from Hiller Fit. When's your next video drop? Publish.
Ideally, it'll be out before 4 o'clock.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for saying publish and not drop.
Yeah.
The cringy word.
I think I'm one of the I think I'm one of the fucking buttery bros. Drop. Get your merch. Get your merch. All right.
Right. Buy my whoop.
Talk to you guys.
Join the buttery bros gang.
Talk to you guys soon. I'll talk to you at 4 o'clock for the official CrossFit Games update show. Love you guys. Bye-bye.